Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, I want to show you a bunch of cool promos that are being given out in various territories, and I think we need to start with a little bit of a graphic. Also, we also need to start with a massive shout out to Pokécard X, who's helped me out with this, and just generally awesome. So shout out to them. But this is the structure of the Asia Championship Series. Lots and lots and lots and lots of Great Balls. And then a bunch of Ultra Balls, but nowhere near as many. And then Master Ball and Premier Ball are your big tournaments before you go forward to Worlds. This is the qualification in a bunch of Asian territories. And this is relevant because at each different stage of this, we've got a bunch of promos, which I think we need to mention. Now, also, what we need to mention here, we've not been given a look at Master Ball yet. They've not told us what all the Master Ball ones are, so I'm sorry about that. I wish I could show you. I can't show you, so I don't know. Sorry. But I can show you a bunch, and I think that'll help. For instance, if we start in the Great Ball League, we got two promos that are Air Balloon and Reshiram EX. And these are actually extremely cool. Firstly, Air Balloon, like full-on staple. No ifs, buts, or maybes. Air Balloon is already seeing a bunch of play in a bunch of decks since being reintroduced in Black Bolt and White Flare. And this is only going to happen more as we go forward. This is a phenomenal card. It has always been a phenomenal card. And unless we get better retreating options in our tools, and we're not getting better retreating options in our tools, yeah, this is going to be the best one. Great card, great promo. This is one that a lot of people are going to be exceptionally happy about. Just reduces your retreat cost by 2. It's one of those cards, it's not fancy, but it doesn't need to be fancy. It's just good. Is it alternate art? Nope. No alternate art. No, nothing along those lines. It's just there, and it's awesome. So what about Reshiram then? Is Reshiram alternate art? Well, I mean, come on. You can guess this already. The answer is no. This is just what Reshiram looks like in White Flare. The thing is, this is a cool card. Now, Reshiram is not currently the most playable of the EXs from the set, but I don't think that necessarily matters for 2 reasons. Firstly, there is potential. Whack that bad boy up with M-Ball. Let's face it, we did it back in Gen 5 for the first time, and there's a lot of potential here. Free energy, 130 damage, plus 50 for each prize card your opponent has taken. Later the game goes, better this dude gets. But also, it's just a cool stamped version of a box Legendary EX. Even if Reshiram isn't terribly playable, it's still Reshiram. It's still the poster child for White Flare. It's still a box Legendary. It's still an extremely cool card. And now we've got a stamped version of it. And I really like these because they get stamped with Great Ball League. They get stamped with the actual logo of the league you compete in order to earn them. Big fan of these. And you kind of get the feeling that the person who did these understood the assignment. Because on the one hand, you've got yourself a Pokemon tool in Air Balloon, which is incredibly good and sees a bunch of play. And then on the other hand, you've got an EX in Reshiram that, although it isn't the best one out there, it's still a box Legendary. By box Legendary, I mean it's on the front of one of the games. And it's very cool and popular and people are going to love it. Big fan, nailed the assignment. Moving on from your Great Ball League over into your Ultra Ball League, we got a new league. We're going to need some new promos here, and the good news is we do have some new promos. And honestly here, I think they've kind of understood the assignment once again. We've got Wally's Compassion, which is a very playable trainer card. Yay! And then they've gone for Zekrom. I just think that's wonderful. Because, look, you had Reshiram as your promo for the Great Ball League. Then you get Ultra Ball and you get up to Zekrom. And I told you how Reshiram wasn't the most playable EX from Black Bottom White Flare. There's a very good argument that Zekrom is. Certainly better than Reshiram, and it's in the higher league. It makes so much sense. We'll get to that in a minute. So what have we got here then? Well, Wally's Compassion is like legitimately a really, really good card that you should expect to see around. You heal all damage from one of your Mega Evolution Pokemon EX, and if you did do that, then you put all the energy from them back into your hand. Obviously, the best use here is with Venusaur, because Venusaur, you can just move all of your energy around the board as you like. So you move all the energy off, you heal up, and then you go, well, I would put all the energy back into my hand, but would you believe it, there actually isn't any energy on the Pokemon to put back, because I've just moved it off with my Venusaur, but then you just move it straight back, and it's basically just complete healing a Mega EX with no downside, assuming you've got your Venusaur on the field. This is an extremely good card. It's one that I am a rather large fan of. And then we've got Zekrom. It's better than Reshiram. Now, it's actually the same card as Reshiram, in every way that matters. Now, I will say the second attack, you do 30 to yourself, rather than discarding an energy, but it's still 130 base plus 50 for each prize card your opponent's already taken. And it's got Electric, which just and it's got better, support in other lightning Pokemon. So it just makes it a little bit better when we're looking at what decks have made an impact from Black Bottom White Flare. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Zekrom Electric has become the best deck in the format and it's been wrecking or any of that malarkey. But I absolutely am going to tell you it has been a viable deck. It has been a good, viable, playable deck. And I kind of love the fact that Great Ball is the smaller of the two and gives you Reshiram, which is less playable. And then Ultra Ball is the bigger of the two and gives you the more playable card. I think it's fantastic. I am a huge fan of this. And I just think whoever's making this decision has done a frankly spiffing job. Wonderful. So what about the Premier Ball then? Has the Premier Ball League done things better? Yes. Yes, they have. Because the first promo, and I should say, as I'm going through here, that the first promo has been the participation prize, and then the EX has been your top placement prize. So the trainers you're just getting for turning up, but then you have to do well in order to get the EX. And at the Premier Ball is Badoo. You know how Badoo's like one of the best cards in the entire game? Because Itchy Pollen for 0 energy stops your opponent playing items from their hand next turn. And does 10 damage as well for what it's worth. That's a little bit less important, but it's still incredibly cool. Yeah, that. Once again, they've gone for the participation prize and gone, look, this is actually awesome. We know that people actually want Badoo. We know it's a very playable card. So let's go and give them that. And I just think that's brilliant. Once again, I think they've understood the assignment perfectly. Badoo is great. It sees a huge amount of play. And you know that there's going to be a whole bunch of players out there that want the coolest version of Badoo. I think there's kind of holo prize pack versions and all of that. But I think there is at least an argument to be made that this is the coolest version of Badoo. Now, Mewtwo's a kind of a weird one. Because I've told you guys many times, this is a card which has ended up being disappointing. This was clearly a card that was designed and intended to be good. It has not actually ended up being good. I'm sorry. I have seen the odd list over in Japan, but I need you guys to know that, I've seen the odd list doing well at little tournaments. I have not seen this as a consistently good deck. I think at this point we can say, with a fair degree of certainty, Mewtwo has underperformed. It has underwhelmed. It has not proven to be a particularly good card. There's clearly potential there with Mewtwo. Free energy, 160, discard up to 2 energy from your bench, 60 more for each card you discarded in this way, and then obviously this is designed to be used with Team Rocket's Spidops, which accelerates energy, and then you got Team Rocket's energy as well. which can count as 2 energy, but basically this having a free energy attack cost just ruined it. It was never good enough with the free energy attack cost. Maybe if you could do it for a Team Rocket's energy, this could have ended up being a legitimate deck. This could actually have ended up being a real player in the metagame, but that's a moot point. It didn't have that. Maybe if there was a tool which allowed you to attack for 2 energy if you had the tool attached, such that you could do it for a tool and a Team Rocket's energy. But again, such a tool does not exist. You're thinking about SP Pokemon. So, unfortunately, that never worked either. But you could also look at this and go, well, this is Premier Ball League. We've gone up a level here. And okay, fine, it's not as playable as it could have been, but it's still Team Rocket's Mewtwo. This card is still kind of a big deal. Okay, fine, this makes sense. Now, there are a couple of other prizes which are on offer. There are sleeves that are available. Now, I believe these are actually kind of a step above again. These are a Top Cut prize. We've then got a playmat, which is a Top Cut 1-win prize. And look at the playmat. Seriously, look at the playmat. This is one of the coolest playmats you'll see. It's basically using all the key art from the league, Premier Ball League. It's amazing. And you'll notice that they've got a series of Mega Pokemon, Gengar, Lucario, Charizard X, and Gardevoir, who were basically the 4 headline Megas so far. Mega Lucario and Mega Gardevoir from M1, Mega Charizard from M2, and then Gengar from the decks that are being released. That's awesome. Same as the sleeves, but it just sits cooler on a playmat. And then we've got champion, finalist, and top 4 trophies using the same artwork as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go and enter these, which makes me very sad. But if you can, might I suggest trying to do really well? Just in case you weren't planning on trying to do really well anyway. Because, oh my word, these prizes are awesome. There we go. I told you all about this now. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of these promos and prizes in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Nick Gleason, who's been a supporter of ours for a little while now and seems to be absolutely lovely. So shout-out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.